Morning, Yah Royal family. Welcome back to another video. So as you hear, I'm in an active house today. I'm literally in the midst of fixing me some sausage, beef sausage, and some onions, and I'm gonna eat on with some bagel. But I'm just gonna chat with you while I'm in the midst of doing that. As you see, the actual picture here called, well, it was shown in the USA. It came out back in August, and it says the Exodus, right? So this picture is very, touching for me because a lot of the women in this picture reminds me of me. Even the features growing up as a little girl, pictures that I could go back to and actually put side by side, and you can see a lot of the features there. So I'm not saying that these people are, my ancestors, but it is so profound, from the young lady at the top here with the hat in the corner, to your right. I want to say that is, she looks like my aunt, the one that I saw on the TV too when I had the open vision. Then right in front of her with the younger one with her coat over her arm, that is a picture that looks like me. And many years ago, well, I wouldn't say many years ago, 2 years ago, I came across just this picture. Someone had actually screenshot her picture, and I found it on the web. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, oh my goodness, this looked just like me when I was younger. So I always had that picture in my phone because I shared it with my family to show them. And then come to find out that this was a part of a bigger, far as photos with other people in it. Someone just had screenshot her picture. So that's why, this is so dear to me. And then as I look through, the one here in the white shirt with the hat on, and she also sitting, standing between the two male, she actually has features that remind me of me and my family. And to your left over, there as well. So it's just so profound, family. And the truth be told is that we don't know who is our people because how things have happened, but the Almighty knows who our people is, So I was actually online, crying out to the Almighty yesterday. In a moment where just realizing how things were, when, the Bible mentioned and said that his spirit was on the earth. His spirit was actually in the Ark of Covenant, in the temple. And when he removed his spirit, how that was. And just to think that whenever we go back and we reflect about our ancestors, whenever the Almighty was in the midst of them, you didn't hear about, oh, this person needed to be healed or anything. I went and looked up the word healing to see where healing was from the beginning to Genesis all the way through. You didn't see talking about healing until Father said like he would give us over to our enemies and what would be our healing medicine then in that regards. But, our family walked around, the wilderness for 40 years and their feet didn't even swell, it says. They didn't even wore out their shoes. So him, in the presence, when we in the Almighty good grace, he have, healed us in a way and touch us where we didn't get sick, family. Then, when you look into, starting from Genesis all the way going to the New Testament, then that's when you start seeing about Yeshua was healing people, right? When you look up the word faith, you didn't see faith in the Bible. I saw it in, I can't remember what scripture, but I saw faith for the first time, Faith, and that was actually in Hebrew, was saying that to be truth, to be, to be truthful and whatnot. So then I looked up the faith in the New Testament, and it was all over the place about, we're not, it kind of changed the actually definition of it about, you believing. So then I was led to look up the word believe throughout the whole Bible, and then I found it starting, going all the way back to Genesis about believing, so that would, work hand in hand with faith. But during the Old Testament, you didn't see where Father talk about faith, but he, it was believe, believe on me, and that was actually in it. So then I also look up the word, what else word I looked up was faith. I looked up healing. I looked at faith in both places. And for those who not aware of this, the Bible, in the two parts that they have it in, the Old Testament and the New Testament, the Old Testament actually have it, where it's translated from Hebrew, and the New Testament translated from, Greek. So when you look at this whole dynamic and say, well, why would the ones who Grecians will have our writings? Because the Romans actually took our writings in 70 AD. So those are just different things that was just pointed out to me, and I was just looking closely at it, family, just to get even further insights, and just, admiring what our forefathers had when Father's Spirit was with them and dwelled. So also that surfaced within me is that we're in the land of our captivity. We're in bondage. So his face had supposed to be turned from us, and then you have to think that how did they atone for their sins when they were in bondage? They weren't able to atone for their sins. They didn't do any type of animal sacrifices when they were in bondage. He turned his face completely from them. So that will be the same as it is right now. So it just, I'm like, wow, it's just so much of different ways that you can look to see to try to make things, come to a place of understanding. So I'm just like in the midst of just wanting to know more and wanting to understand more, and have it to where, as whatever the Almighty give to me, I can bring forth to his people and share. So I just wanted to touch bases with that. So I'm in the midst of you can't see me, but you can hear me. I'm going to be cooking me some sausage, and you would think that I would already had everything prepared, right? If you could see right now, I'm just in the beginning stages of getting the stages of actually getting the sausages out of the little plastic wrap thing that is in. So I was never one that cooked, family. My family called me spoiled. They said, well, you've been spoiled all your life. You've been acting like you. Well, they ain't said I really have been acting like a princess all my life. I'm gonna tell you the truth. In a lot of ways, a lot of things that I didn't do, but now I did clean up, so I can't say I didn't do that, right? That's one thing I wanted to do, like when I was growing up. This is my loud daughter's running some water in this. So we're gonna move on because this is a lived-in house. So she'll be finished shortly, and cut me up some onions, saute that, and then put these in there, and do me a bagel. Yeah, and I never had beef sausage before. I stopped eating sausage. I stopped eating pork, probably about 6 months ago. And I don't know if I shared it with you all yet, to let you all know that, a lot of our people, we're still, people that I felt as though when the Almighty was leading me to do, but I was going by a lot of the New Testament, and it's not what you eat, not what you put in you, is what comes out. So as time went on and the Almighty, have dealt with me, and I felt that he did. And then I just, came into a place because I started keeping the Sabbath, like it was last year when I started keeping the Sabbath. So family, I just say, we all need to build that relationship with the Almighty and let Him lead and guide us to truth and understanding, right? Getting ready. Okay. So. You need more water than that? Cut up some onions, and I just did some different things there. So let's see here. I just never won. I would rather clean up. That's what I wanted to do. Pine Sol and all that was my best friend, but so someone said, well, you wasn't no princess, you was a servant back then. Well, I like, I had this phobia stuff, or, all about, not so much self-phobia. Just wanted to be, I need to be around neatness and cleanliness, right? So, y'all can see how big these onions are. I tell you, one day, I'm gonna get it together. And when I was in the dating world, all the men that I dated, they all cooked. I was the one that it was just a given. They did all the cooking, and so I never did. A lot of them, just like, sit right here, I got you. Fix my plate. There are times brought it to my bed. Just the whole 9 yards. And so that was then, and this is now. But as I'm learning in everything, and I know that as a single person at this point, and have been for the last 2 years, almost 3 years, it's all in the Almighty time. And now I understand now, because I used to pray and ask for, send me a husband, send me a... Now I understand. It's in His timing, and I'm not going to rush nothing. I don't want nothing that ain't mine. You hear what I'm saying? I don't want nothing that is not mine. It's all in His timing. And I get it now. I understand it now. I had stopped asking for a while, but now I understand why. It's all in His timing. If that's what He wants from me, but it will be mine. Ain't nothing that nobody can do about it. Right? But there's so much that I needed to learn and put myself in that, it's a whole lot. I just did a 3 o'clock this morning. I was on talking 3 o'clock a.m. this morning, talked to my Facebook page, shared a video with them, was talking to them, and was telling them about the order of a woman, and we want to have the last words and such and such, and just, order how the Almighty will, have, and we got to get in that mindset. So not that, because, let me put it this way, because really what the society have done is made our men, who are, our kings and our prince, made them to look weak, made the women more stronger than them by doing a whole lot. So, I'm learning, family. I'm learning. So let that saute right there some. But I actually, I used to spend almost, $1,000 a month just to eat out. That's breakfast, lunch, then dinner. Mainly it was lunch and dinner. And there are times that I had leftover from my lunch and I had it for dinner or something like that. But I ate all, and my favorite food was seafood. The Almighty knew it. Shrimp, crab legs, lobster tail and whatnot. So when that, coming into this truth, that changed my whole life and my, outlook on it. And just like when I went to visit my family for Thanksgiving, they were all out there eating oysters, because that's things that we do. As far as our family, we eat a lot of seafood. And I just looked at them and went back in the house. So by and by, I know they've seen that change in me, that I don't eat pork, and they noticed that, and they became conscious about what to put in the food or whatnot like that. They ask questions, and then also, me keeping the Sabbath, things like that. They, automatically gonna see, because I must say, out of me and a possible nephew, I say a possible nephew, well, he's more speaking of the truth, understanding everybody else, and it's over 150 or more of us, and from our grandparents' kids, you understand? It's us from my mom's side and my dad's side. I got family on both sides, and we like the only two, maybe a possible three, is walking in this truth. As in, touching bases and putting things out for our family to understand or read. And when I mean walking, I mean that you might heard of it and you might like, oh, I realize I'm it, but I'm talking about like, your fruit showing that you're walking in this truth. So that's what I mean. So they'll probably be able to tell you a different story. What do you mean? What do you mean? How could you say I'm out walking in this truth? Who are you to say I'm out walking in this truth? What do you mean? So let that saute a little bit more. I need to turn it down. So as you see on there, so the Exodus. So I'm looking forward for the Exodus. Family, we must go deeper. There are just some different things that surfacing within my spiritual realm, and often when it does, I go look it up, or inquire of the Almighty for more understanding. So when you hear people say, well, everything's gonna happen when Yeshua comes back, and everything will kick in mode, but when you try to get an understanding, say, okay, so Yeshua comes back, then what happens next? I mean, he warring with the people, then how are we gonna get where we need to be? So I truly believe, and then I'll look further into it in more depth, that we will enter into the wilderness way before. That's what I'm believing. Well, not say I want to believe, but what I'm seeing. But we, like I said, we'll go more in depth, because these wicked people have conditioned our mindset so much to follow throughout their prophecy, how they have broken the prophecies down. And I've heard some of my Hebrew brothers have said, basically more so of them talking about, well, when Yeshua comes back, then that's when we will be taken back to our land. But I see it way before that, from different not articles, but scriptures and stuff that indicates that we'll be back way before that. But I don't know, family. If you got any insights that you want to share, you're welcome to. Because like I say, I don't know everything, and I know everything is in the Most High time, and sometimes He put people in the path to give you exactly what you need, right? So I need to let this cook some more. Cut it down too low. Yeah. So family, that's all I'm gonna chat about today with you all on Yah Royal Family page. And I don't know, I might take a picture before I do the editing and show you all my breakfast. The onion is kind of burnt now, so hey, it is what it is, right? But blessings, family. Shalom to you all, and know that our redemption is near. So much is going on. If you have not repented yet, if you don't know who you are, if you have heard that you are an Israelite, you just not understand, and seek the Most High, cry out to Him, build this great relationship, family, with our Creator, that we will know and we will understand this truth. No matter what lies have been brought to us, it will get knocked down, that we will be able to discern in all manners. Family, have a great rest of your day. If I don't come back with another video, shalom, family. See you in the next one. Okay, family. So this is my breakfast. There's a little like burnt in this, but this is the actual bagel. There's some onions and whatnot, but it's the first time I had the beef sausage. It's not that good to me. So I just wanted to come back on and share this, that you see I was cooking something. Now I'm just teasing, but let you all know that the beef and the onions, you know, I've tasted a couple of pieces. I'm gonna try another one to see. But the bagel, you know, that's something that I of course cook separately in the toaster. So I'll try it out, family, but just wanted to touch base with you. This is a new walk, a new way, and you know, I want to be obedient unto the Most High. Take care, family. Shalom.